Hey, this is Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion with the Detroit Red Wings. You're listening to Out of Bounds, Detroit Sports on sportsradiodetroit.com.
sportsradiodetroit.com.
We don't need TV to entertain us. You said anus.
Am I to understand that Dennis Rodman is supposed to do a swan dive into this woman's vagina?
Did Hope Solo go back in time somehow?
It always comes back to her.
I want you to run and jump into my snatch. We're doing this?
It's bent!
She is the epitome of gross downstairs scenarios.
Have you guys ever typed accidental anal into a porn search before?
That was extremely entertaining and hilarious, but also in a weird way made me uncomfortable.
Yeah! Welcome! Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. There is no David Faze, but Jeff Mell is here.
Yes, I am.
Running a two-man show. And I got to tell you something. I was disappointed with Monday's show. I was telling you about this.
Yeah, you were?
And by the way, we are invading your ear hole via Apple Podcasts, sportsradiodetroit.com, or wherever the hell you listen to podcasts, because we're fucking everywhere. But I was just a little disappointed with Monday's show. I didn't think it was our best show. I didn't go back and listen to it. Jeff, you thought it was okay.
Yeah.
We've come to a realization. This show's not as good as it used to be.
Needs some work.
And we were talking a cornucopia of topics here before we began the show this evening. I mean, everything from Green Day and how overrated they are or underrated they are. I don't think anybody thinks they're underrated, do they?
No. DC versus Marvel.
DC versus Marvel. What else are we talking about? Sexual harassment?
Yep.
Talk about everything. And I just go, why don't as soon as you and Dave show up every week, I just turn the damn mics on.
Yeah.
And we just, like nobody say a word to each other.
Yeah, just go.
Let's just get right into the room, turn the damn mics on, and have a conversation.
We can do that.
Because right now it just seems forced.
Well, I mean, it's not really forced, but we did talk about how the sports teams in this town are sucking the life out of us.
It's making it really difficult to do a good show, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because
I mean, you can only break down how terrible the Wings are, night in and night out so much. It's just I can't do that.
I can only get passionately pissed about Jim Caldwell so many times.
Yeah,
before I just run out of gas.
That's kind of the fun part about the Lions right now is that they're keeping you in hating them.
That's a fact.
You're almost you're watching the movie for the bad ending.
Caldwell.
You're like, I know the ending's bad. I just want to see how bad it is.
Well, I've been saying it for years. It's comical to me.
Yeah,
now.
you love to hate them.
I don't hate it.
I've never seen a town where you're in the middle of a playoff hunt. You're 8-6. You're going to be 500 or better. The only teams that you've lost to are all in the playoffs currently. You didn't lose to a team that's under 500.
But isn't that the common theme? That's the thing. That's why people get pissed, and that's why people should get pissed.
Yes, but what we're looking
because when are you just finally going to be good enough to beat those teams?
How long
do we have to wait?
Like in a different city, right? Like if you were looking at this team from a different city, you wouldn't necessarily think it was all that bad. You'd be like, wow.
Criticism doesn't bother us.
They got something decent going on there. But when you're here, it just feels dead.
Yeah, but if
there's no buzz.
If you're like me, if you're somebody like you, Jeff, that actually pays attention to this league, we know it's become a point with the NFL where we know who are the haves and who are the have-nots.
Yes.
It's not... There are very few surprising season-long storylines anymore.
Nope.
You don't see a team that you just didn't expect to make a run very often come along and do what they do. The closest thing to that this year is probably the Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles are a hell of a football team. A little bit of a surprise. But you don't...
Or like the Rams. And
Rams... Okay, that's a better example.
And your boy Jared Goff.
That's a better example. Yeah, I'm getting close to maybe I'll have an offer.
Eat a shoe here?
I said that I would. I would offer him a mea culpa if I had to. I'm not ready yet.
But it's getting there.
It's his second year.
Putting himself in the playoffs.
Who is he in year 4, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I might even start to come around next year. But I what that situation is looking like to me, Jeff, is that Jeff Fisher should never be allowed anywhere near an NFL locker room ever again.
No.
That's what I'm seeing.
Jared Goff looks like a completely different person.
If Jared Goff is this good, if he's really this good, I still have a feeling that he's gonna regress to the mean a little bit.
He might stumble a little bit.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
But if he's this good, Jeff Fisher should be ostracized from all football from now on.
I agree.
Because he is the 8-8 special with a magical Super Bowl run, and that's what he is.
Yes.
Welcome to Jim Caldwell's world, Jeff Fisher.
Yes, it is Jim Caldwell's world. We're all just living in it. We're all just...
Not only that, but did I don't remember if I said this last week or not, but fucking Jimmy goddamn Garoppolo.
Yeah, it's your boy, Jimmy G.
He looks really good.
Yeah, why wouldn't he look really good?
But didn't I text you and Dave this? If Jimmy G is this good, if he's really this good, then Bill Belichick is officially an alien.
Well, I mean,
he is not of this world.
I mean, look what happens when you groom a quarterback. Like, even a guy like Tyrod Taylor, who probably wouldn't be in this league if he hadn't bounced around and sat for a little while and developed into his mid-20s before he got a chance to really play. And he's not...
You got a video playing over there?
No.
Do I got a video playing over here?
Oh, I think I might have, yeah. I think a video just popped on. But, I mean, just a little bit of grooming. Couple years. Sit behind a quarterback. You know? Feel how a practice runs for a full year.
Isn't it starting to seem that just literally always works?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is that, like, developing a quarterback is this crazy concept. And it's... you see it, and it worked. Like Aaron Rodgers, it worked. This guy was just amazing. Jimmy G looks like he's going to be a pretty good guy.
Okay, so like if Jameis Winston had a chance to sit behind
anybody,
no, it doesn't even need to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
It could just be like a middle of the road quarterback, like McCown. If he sat behind McCown for 2 years, he'd be a better player today than he is.
Well, that's a little bit of a stretch. I was thinking of a little bit better quarterback. Than, say he sat behind Alex Smith.
Yeah, like Mahomes might be good a couple years down the road if he sits behind Alex Smith until he's 3 years in the league.
Because when you compare that to guys that just jump straight right in, can we just say this? Is there anybody in the bunch that's really, over the last however long it's been, that's been better than Matthew Stafford?
Guys who jumped in.
A guy that just you threw in, whether he was a number one overall pick like Stafford, top 10 picks.
Carson Wentz got thrown in. He's pretty damn good.
He did. He's been pretty good.
Dak Prescott got thrown in, and he's pretty damn good. In general,
we're seeing what Dak Prescott is without Zeke Elliott.
Not an elite quarterback. I'm saying he's a successful NFL quarterback in the fact that he's right. Going to be a quarterback in this league for a while.
You also have to understand that the special circumstances in which Dak Prescott was thrust into duty.
But you look also, and he's one of the
best offensive lines in a decade.
Good wide receivers.
An incredible running game.
Yeah, so
he had everything you need.
Yeah, and I was screaming that last year about how I didn't think he was for real. I didn't think he was as good as he was. And it turned out, Zeke came back.
Well, there is something to be said for Dak Prescott and last season, because I know that we're coming back to this. Oh, look what he is without Zeke. Look what he is when a couple of his offensive linemen go down. He's not very good. He's still been all right, but what I was going to say is Dak Prescott being thrust into duty. He had Tony Romo to mentor him just a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, for this argument that, he's really not that good. There's something to be said for not throwing an interception as a rookie for 78 straight games like he did.
I'm not saying that he doesn't, he doesn't have talent. I mean, I think he's an NFL quarterback. I think he's not going anywhere. You know, like there's guys like Andy Dalton who are just on their way out now. Like that experiment has come and gone. You know, Andy Dalton had a good year here.
Well, you know, he and his coach could run a banana boat together and take it down the Ohio River.
Like the best I think you can hope for is, you know, without the, Andrew Luck. He was pretty good thrown right in there, but we haven't seen anything of him in a year and a half.
But Andrew Luck was one of those special cases, don't you think?
Yeah, he's
like you just knew.
He's a special kind of
like
guy.
even with a guy like Stafford, you didn't like we thought, like people thought. I didn't know.
No,
nobody knew.
Cam, I think Cam is a jump in there kind of guy.
Athletic freak.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just some of these developed quarterbacks they just get it done. You know, they come in, they play well, just because they had a little bit of time to develop underneath a guy, and they had high-end talent.
Okay, here's an even more fun example. Guy who plays for a good football team that's just clinched their division, going to the playoffs. Blake Bortles.
Yeah, he's not very good though.
But what if Blake Bortles had a chance to sit behind an Aaron Rodgers?
Possibly. I think Blake Bortles was definitely a talent.
Because I'm not ready to. I honestly, like, after last year, I was kind of ready to give up on Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
After this year, is he going to be great? Probably not.
Not now.
But
is he competent?
He's looked all right.
Is he competent?
This year.
Can he lead your team when they have an awesome run game and an awesome defense?
Well,
yeah.
What was Blake Bortles' big bugaboo last year? It's the interceptions.
Yeah.
Million interceptions.
And guess what happened? You got a really good running back, and now they're not they're not sitting in coverage all day on you because you couldn't run, and he's being successful. This is high percentage throws, you know, spacing out the defense. Doesn't have to worry about having to force the ball down the field.
When you give up on Blake Bortles, to me, is if this Jaguars team does everything, does everything else, and still can't find a way to get it done, typically that's going to fall on your quarterback.
You know, I mean, I would love to see how good the Lions' offense was if they had a competent running back.
I'd love to see how good Matthew Stafford is.
They could be a special offense the way they're constructed right now with a good running back.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I think they have the wide receivers to get it done. I think they have the offensive line to help pass block, especially with a run game to help pull the pressure off the pass block.
Well, whose fault is that right now?
I don't know.
The Messiah, Bob Quinn.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily. Yes, it's his fault that they don't have a running back. That's correct. But I think he thought he really had to see what Amir Abdullah could do healthy, and he just realized he's just not that good.
But don't you come up with a contingency plan for that? Don't you recognize this deep running back class that you just had? One of the deepest running back classes we've ever seen. And you didn't get one of those guys.
And the only guy who's showing flashes right now is the guy you got out of undrafted free agency out of that draft.
You know what? I did want to discuss that, Jeff. I'm really glad you brought that up because you, Dave, and me in our little text thread, I threw out the Tion Green thing.
We've been joking about Tion Green since the day the Lions signed him. I remember when the Lions
and he was tearing it up in the preseason. Yeah. He was the training camp hero that we always have here, and we made fun of it a little bit. But I think we all kind of had in the back of our minds, maybe Tion Green's the best back on this roster. When you consider when you look at everything.
Theo Riddick, though. I don't really count Theo Riddick. I think Theo Riddick is a special utility kind of player.
But that's the thing. Why is Tion Green the best back on this roster? Because he's the only true running back on this roster. I don't think Tion Green's going to be a Hall of Famer.
No.
But what I'm seeing out of Tion Green is all you can ask of a running back that has an offensive line that's been very inconsistent. And that is, you get the ball, you have just a tick of patience. You find that hole, and you gain
positive yardage.
2.5, 3 yards.
Yep.
Not jumping around in a backfield like a Mexican jumping bean like Amir Abdullah. Not just squeezing the life out of the football and running straight ahead like Zach Zenner.
Oh my God, that drives me crazy. They are like the polar opposites of each other. Zach Zenner has one direction, and that's forward. And Amir Abdullah has two directions, and that is east and west. There is
Sometimes at the same time.
sometimes at the same time. It is incredible.
And then Tion Green just gets Stafford hands in the ball. He looks around for a second. There's a little spot. Let's just get a little bit over here. Let's just slide in here like a piece of mozzarella cheese.
But he runs hard to the hole, and that's why he's getting positive yardage. So he hits the hole hard. He's patient.
How do you
he finds a hole and he hits it.
How do you not love the fucking way that Le'Veon Bell runs the ball?
Oh yeah, just waits.
Just sits, and it doesn't always
dance.
work.
He doesn't dance. He waits. He's still moving his feet. He's still moving forward, but his vision is incredible. We don't have a running back with vision.
Well, nobody runs the ball like Le'Veon Bell. He's got a special running style.
There's a bunch of running backs that have vision, though.
Well, yeah, but nobody hesitates like Le'Veon Bell, and hasn't worked.
Yeah, he's special. He's a special kind of guy.
So
Zeke Elliott is like that too. Zeke Elliott's patient. We haven't seen him in a few weeks, but when that guy's playing, he's fucking electric.
But Tion Green, I want him to get the bulk of the carries for the rest of the season. And actually, part of me doesn't, because that would be a good move by Jim Caldwell, which would mean he's more likely to stick around next year.
I would just like to see. I mean, I just think they're probably going to win both games anyway.
You're probably right.
So just, really, it's you go out, you do what you have to do, and you cross your fucking fingers to get in the playoffs. But when it comes to that, why not give Tion Green the ball a little bit more? I get that you don't want him in there all the time because he's probably not the best pass blocker. He
probably not the best pass catcher.
Probably not the best pass catcher. And you have one of the best pass catching running backs, if not the best pass catching running back in the NFL, in Theo Riddick.
But that makes me bring up, and we'll get a little bit deeper, a statement by who the guy that I have now dubbed JB Coots.
Yep.
But what I wanted to say about him first is
author and lawyer JB Coots.
Doesn't that kind of speak to the seeming ineptitude of Sir J.B. Coots? Now he's Sir J.B. Coots. And because when you have these guys, right, Amir Abdullah, Theo Riddick, and now Tion Green, you have three different backs with three very different skill sets. Great coaches find a way to use that as a weapon.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing that out of Sir J.B. Coots.
Yeah.
A guy like... even a guy like, some might think he's the next Lions head coach, a guy like Josh McDaniels. You think if he doesn't, he's got that right now.
Yeah.
Three different backs with very different skill sets.
Yep.
And all three of them are crushing it. Not every week.
No.
One guy gets featured against one defense, another guy gets featured against another defense, and you play the matchups. And you just don't see that out of J.B. Coots.
I don't know if you necessarily don't see that. I will give him this. He might be doing that. They just might be that bad. Like, they just might be that ineffective.
Well,
to where it goes, it doesn't look good to me.
I don't know that
this
I would
matchup
call...
doesn't look good to me, but that's not because the matchup isn't right. Could be the right matchup. They just stink.
Well, then that's just it then. It's one or the other.
They stink.
It's one or the
I
other.
personally just think they stink at running the ball. I don't know what... The offensive line can't get any sort of cohesiveness. They played, 1 week with the starting five? And... aside from that, they don't have They don't have a running back to make up for a problem area on the offensive line that can make plays on his own if something happens. Their running backs just run to the line, and if the hole is there, it's there. If it's not, they're going down, and that's what drives me crazy. There's no playmaker in that backfield. Not a single playmaker. You get Theo Riddick in space,
yeah.
Then you have yourself a playmaker, but you can't. He does not go through the line of scrimmage. So, and he's been more effective recently. But
you know what I would love to see then? Here's what I would love to see. Here's what I think a good offensive coordinator would do. I think you take a look at what Tion Green has done, which, is it outlandish? No, but it's been okay.
Yeah.
It's been good enough considering the circumstances. So what I would like to see, a couple packages. Let's get Theo and Tion on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
And make that defense respect both of those backs. Okay, this is the guy that's going to catch the ball in the backfield, or they could hand it to this guy. That's what I don't feel like you get out of a Jim Bob Cooter offense right now, making the defense think. Or when they see a formation, when they see a set, they're like, Either this is going to happen or this is going to happen. Those are the only two things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, the people out there that still want to put the blame on Stafford, just take a look at that for just a second. Yeah. And you know this, and anybody who's listened to this show for any semblance of time would know that nobody was a bigger Matthew Stafford hater than myself. He has earned a little bit of my respect.
Yeah, because you can't blame him week in and week
out. Do
I
think he needs to do more? Absolutely.
It's tough to do more than what he's doing right now. It really is tough to do more.
Currently, right here, right now, I would 99% agree.
Like, the running game is so bad it hurts him. It's not even just competent to where he needs to make a play here or there in games to keep them afloat. It's like it's putting them behind. Because every time they run the ball, there's maybe 2 drives every game where they run the ball somewhat effectively. You know? But I'd also like to see Jamal Agnew get the ball a little bit more. I mean, you put him in on offense. He's been on offense a few times. You run a sweep with him. You fake a sweep with him here or there. But the guy's dynamic with the ball in his hand. You know? Yeah, you can't run him straight out of the backfield out of shotgun. You don't think he can find a hole? Because I think he can probably find a hole. If not, get to the outside. It's fast enough to get to the outside.
It just seems
and then put him on the offense and not give him the ball. Keep the other team honest with Jamal Agnew.
It just seems like, and here's the thing, that's where you kind of have to figure out where it comes from. Does it come from the offensive coordinator or does it come from the talent on the field? I think that's what we don't necessarily know yet.
No. I think Eric Ebron's playing really well right now, though.
Yeah, considering.
I'll give him his props.
Is he playing like a number 10 overall pick? No.
Since he's doing everything he's asked, and that's all you can ask of a tight end.
Oh, you mean catch the football?
Catch the football, and when it's important. And I think ever since the
I don't think he's really been a point of contention.
Floating of him getting traded, ever since then, I think he's been very solid. I don't think he has these glaring issues that we were seeing in previous. He's touching the ball. I mean, he had 10 catches the other day.
Well, I think he's led the team in catches 3 straight games now, hasn't he?
Probably pretty close.
2 or 3 straight games? It's great. It's fine. I mean,
we'll do some Cincinnati-Detroit comparison later.
Is he playing like a number 10 overall pick? I don't think so.
No, of course not. He never will. He never will.
But it's like he said, and you got to give Ebron credit for saying this. I didn't pick myself number 10 overall.
Well, yeah, that's why all I'm saying is he's playing like a good tight end right now. It's helping the offense.
He's playing like a serviceable tight. He's
playing a little bit better than serviceable. Serviceable tight ends don't catch down passes in a game.
No,
Darren Fells is serviceable.
Well, yeah, but he does. He's got the same issue that Ebron's always had, and that's that he's got hands made out of dumbbells.
Yeah, but he can block like a mofo.
Sure, but it's not really helping the running game, is it?
Not helping at all.
Shit, I think we just basically had a full Lions segment without even planning to do it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about with the Lions.
What do we have coming up, Jeff?
I think next week, after the Bengals game, after we see what Atlanta does, next week we can talk Caldwell, stay or go, that kind of stuff. Because right now I just think it's futile. It's just futile to do that right now.
Fair enough.
Because right now we're in limbo of playoff talk.
Because what difference does it make?
It doesn't make any difference, especially if they still got a chance at the playoffs. We know that it's not going to matter until this whole thing's decided.
But so many people want him gone, and so do I.
Oh, so do I. I feel like he's kind of like Lovie Smith the Bears, where he made the playoffs, and...
Yeah, but Lovie Smith got to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman at quarterback.
I understand that, but he went 10-6, and they booted him.
God, I would have so much respect for this franchise if that happened. But that's the thing. It's like I talked to Dave about. He goes 10-6 and gets fired. Bob Quinn has control. He does. Definitively.
First time in 17 years, Lions have back-to-back 500 or better consecutive year records.
Gotta love it.
17 years.
Gotta love this franchise.
Under Jim Caldwell.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Quick fun point to mention.
Yeah.
All the teams they played are in the playoffs, and they went 5-1 and won every road game in the division. and they're still probably not going to make the playoffs. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, this division's pretty bad. And you got Minnesota, and they kind of played Minnesota and beat them before they were really Minnesota.
Play the games on your schedule.
I know that. I get it. But it wasn't the same.
Still on the road.
Wasn't the same Minnesota team. All right, we're going to take a break. We didn't get to any of the topics on my topics list because we just went at it.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do from now on.
Bringing an old segment back tonight.
What do we have? We are bringing back an old segment tonight. We're going to bring back. Well, I'm not even going to say it. You're going to have to just tune in.
We're throwing it back to the old school.
If you're one of the old hats of this show listening, you will recognize this particular segment. It's been about a year since we've done it. Chase Winovich and a couple of other Michigan players doing some pretty good work for a dear charity to the University of Michigan. We might go over Mike's notes.
See what he had?
Mike's notes. Yeah, we've been making him take notes and not reading any of them. Let's go through them. Floyd Mayweather going to the MMA. Lavar Ball being Lavar Ball. Brian Bowen speaking out to ESPN finally. I don't know if we're going to get to all this shit, but we're going to try right here. Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. Jeff Mel, myself, Dan Griffin, sportsradiodetroit.com. Do not go away.
Hey, this is Brittany Wagner with Last Chance U, and you're listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports.
I wish I could just hang around you all the time and just like do whatever you do and just like learn from you and aid you.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
All right. Welcome back. Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. A two-man crew this evening. Jeff Mel and myself, Dan Griffin, invading your ear hole via Apple Podcast, sportsradiodetroit.com, or wherever the hell you listen to podcasts. And please go to sportsradiodetroit.com. Check out all of the other fantastic content. The guys have been pimping us out on social media lately. We have not been doing a great job of returning the favor, for which we apologize. But we thank you, and we'll do whatever we can to pimp you out on the show. I think Marquise gave us some love.
Yeah, he did.
From the Fanarchy.
Find over to Kelly Rowe.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know if she listened, but...
Well, we'll find out.
You can call her.
And sportsradiodetroit.com, not all about the sports anymore. Branching out.
Expanding.
Doing some pop culture stuff. I don't know, there's a couple other ones just to talk nerdy to me.
Yep.
Laugh tracks. It's not all about the sports anymore.
SRD Pop.
That's right. Always the road show as well.
Always
classic.
Roger. The original.
Roger doing the road show. Still moving along with the road show.
That's his baby. That and Tigers.
Road show's good.
Yeah, road show's good.
They rival us.
We need to get down on that road show.
I mean, they're killing us in downloads.
We haven't been there in a while. I know. It's that whole national general audience thing.
We don't market ourselves well. We just open up a mic and just go.
Yep.
That's what we do.
We need to get on that road show
Respect
soon.
everybody.
It's been a while.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about popping in.
Yeah. Go teach some
Thinking
fools.
about popping in, giving Bianca some shit.
Teach some fools what's up.
Maybe getting fired for sexually harassing Bianca just because I said that her blouse looked nice today.
Yep. You're going to jail. You're definitely going to jail.
Roger will fire me for that.
Yep.
She'll report me. No, because I think Bianca's a real feminist. Not one of these fake social justice warrior feminists.
I'm glad to see that the executives of Sports Radio Detroit haven't been slapped with any
I know!
sexual harassment.
She didn't walk away yet. She's still doing a show, holding strong with the boys.
I haven't heard anything.
Speaking of sexual harassment, you were at Christmas this last week.
Yep. I was.
And a lady hit on you.
Kind of. It was nice, though. She was hot.
But you're not allowed to touch her, though.
No, wasn't allowed to touch her. Well, I make this rule because I've obviously been in a long relationship. And
it's open.
It's not open. It's not Dave's relationship.
But Dave's only allowed to sleep with other women if they're fat.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Kristen's rule.
Yeah, they have to be worse looking than Kristen, which is a great rule for her.
I agree with this
She doesn't
decision.
fall in love. You know what I'm saying? But you get in these situations at a show like that where there's attractive women very close to you because you're in a giant smushed crowd.
And everybody's on drugs.
Everybody's bombed. Everyone's in close vicinity to each other. You're bumping into each other, sweating on each other. I mean, they were handing out cases of water through the crowd like a crowd surfer.
Like, you can't be in that situation and not constantly be rocking at least like a quarter chub.
Somewhat, yeah. Unless you did a lot of cocaine, then you have no boner at all. But so, pretty young girl.
Scandalous.
In front of me. We hit it off. Because we're talking before the music starts. We're just bullshitting. I don't even know. We're talking about sports stuff, in fact.
Ooh.
And
did you get her number?
No.
You could have passed it on to me.
I did not get her number. But
I would have been afraid to talk to her, though.
So the show starts, and everybody's dancing, getting down. You know, it's groove, it's funk. It's all that good stuff. And didn't want to put my hands on her.
Yeah, but that's not how you told me the story. The way you told me the story is that she was there with another dude.
Well, okay, now let me get to that part. I was just giving you the groundwork for how like the general feel was. She would dance like with me, but not like on me. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't gonna do anything. I'm a faithful man.
Well, you'd have lost your job if you did.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just don't want to, like, there are guys in there that are going to grab up on girls, man. They're going to get all their close quarters. Oh, I just bumped into you. I got a handful of ass, you know? Guys like that.
My bad.
So, but.
They're Weinsteining them.
I'd gone to the bathroom, and I'd come back. I went by myself because it was so crowded that the only way you could get through a crowd is by yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So I came back. I found my friends. There was a girl standing there. I ended up talking to my buddy saying, hey, you know, I just got back from the bathroom. It was crazy. And the girl, this girl that I'm speaking of, is she's standing there, and she starts to kind of freak out. She's like, my friend went to the bathroom and isn't back yet. And I'm thinking girl the whole way. I'm thinking girl. Your girlfriend went to the bathroom alone.
Or her gay best friend, one or the other.
Your girlfriend went to the bathroom alone. You're afraid because you haven't seen her in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Naturally, you should be afraid. Well, shows up. It's a dude.
My friend.
Very nice guy. Very cool guy. He gave me a Batman hat, in fact. It's a sweet Batman hat, too.
Why didn't you bring it in for show and tell?
I don't know. I have it at home somewhere. But, he was like, in the spirit of Christmas, you can have this sweet-ass hat. So like, that hat's fucking sweet, man.
That's adorable.
And he gave it to me. He's like, here you go, man. So I'm like, thanks. So, real cool dude and everything. But she made it very clear. She's like, this is my friend. My friend.
She had to clear that up.
Had to clear it up. Made it very clear. Not only that, she was like dancing with me, and you could tell that he was like, off to the side, like, I brought you here.
He wanted to bang her.
Yeah, he was taking a shot for sure by bringing her to the show.
Oh, he's friend-zoned hard.
Getting her, you know, just them two. They said they had, like, other friends there, too. It's just them two alone, you know?
He's friend-zoned harder than David Faze at a Victoria's Secret show.
A skinny chick convention. I don't even know why we make that joke, but it's so funny. But so this I just felt bad for this kid because he just had to stand there and watch the chick he brought dance with me.
That poor guy. Did you feel bad for him a little bit?
I felt bad for him, and I felt bad for my single friend that was with us.
Right, because you're the one with...
Because I have a girlfriend.
It's like chicks smell it. Oh,
yeah,
this guy's got a girlfriend. I'm going to go hit on him.
I'm not going for the number. I'm not going for the, you're dancing up real close to me, maybe... Let me, like back in the day, if I was in the same situation, maybe I would have put my hands on her waist, see what she did. She didn't like it, I would have stopped. But
then you would have lost your job.
Yeah, nowadays I'd be Jeff Mel 7 years ago at some concert, put his hands on my waist.
How does Sports Radio Detroit still let this man on the air?
So it was, I wouldn't, that past me, maybe would have tried to move like that. I wasn't, she was just it was completely like cool. It was like a completely like fun, nothing over the line time with a girl I just met. Kind of gave me the still got it. kind of vibe, you know. Still got it a little bit. The tank isn't empty, right? I might be on fumes, but the tank's not empty. But I just felt bad for like the guy who brought her and my buddy who's just standing there having to be like, oh, well, I'm single and no one's talking to me.
Yeah. Dude, when you told me that story, that reminded me of what happened. Of course, you missed it at the at Killer's Christmas.
Yes, I did miss it.
So I don't even remember what the hell her name was, but there was just adorable bartender. Little blonde girl, very cute, very sweet. And, of course, this was the girl that Fox 2's own Woody Woodruff decided to pay most of his attention to that night. So towards the end of the night, right, the bar's kind of clearing out.
Right.
There's just some residuals left over. And Dave and I are still there because we're fucking degenerates.
Yeah.
And
I took a day off the next day, and I was like, there's no point for me to be here anymore.
I had to be up at like 6 o'clock the next morning.
You're still there at like 1.
And I was still there. And Dave and I were just chilling at one side of the bar, enjoying our last part of our beer, rubbing elbows with some Detroit celebrities. And this girl, she's over there, and she's doing the dishwashing thing. She's washing the glasses with the little thing that makes it look like she's jerking some guy off under the bar, or two guys at the same time, I should say, because she uses both hands.
Skiing, yeah.
So this guy that clearly works at the bar, she's talking to us, and she's obviously people have been feeding her drinks throughout the night, so she's a little bit bombed while she's washing these glasses, and she's like, I just want to go home. I don't want to have to wash all these floors and everything. And this guy comes out, he's like bringing beers out to like stock the cabinet full of some good brewskis, and she's like, I don't even remember what his name was. She's like, so and so, will you sweep these floors for me? Will you mop these floors for me? And he's like, I don't really want to, but like for you, I totally will.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you. And I turn to her and I go, do you realize what just happened there? She's like, what? I'm like, you used him. He wants to bang you, and you used him to clean those floors. And she's like, that is such a horrible word you just used. I was like, used?
Bang.
That's what you did. You used that's exactly what the fuck just happened. I'm like, you're a pretty girl. He's a guy that's sort of average looking like me.
Because if Steve would have asked him to do it, he was definitely going to do it for Steve. No, not at all. You'd have been, hey, Steve, go fuck yourself. I'm getting out of here early tonight.
It's just like, come on. And that's kind of what bothers me about some of this sexual harassment stuff that's been coming out. Because I think it's totally marginalizing young women that have actually been sexually harassed and actually sexually assaulted. Yeah. Because there are so totally women out there that use that come on, this isn't a new concept. You use sex to your advantage, and now you're turning it back on men.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's doing that.
No.
Like, I love the concept behind wanting to get, change the dynamic between men and women in the workplace, that kind of stuff. We touched a little bit about it on Monday. But I've been having conversations with people since then about this topic. And I've been having conversations with men. I've been having conversations with women, younger women, older women, because I want to get to the bottom of this. Like, how do people really feel about this? And what I'm finding is that, and I think we've touched on this in the past on the show, there are two types of feminists out there. There are good feminists and there are bad feminists.
Yep.
Good feminists are the types of feminists from the traditional feminist movement of the late 70s, where we just kind of want our fair share.
We want equal.
Exactly. No. We want to educate men, and we want to be on an equal playing field with men in the workplace and socially and otherwise. That's great. I love that type of feminism. But this new shit is the type of feminist that wants to take us and put all men underground and attach one of those little machines that they use to milk cows to our dicks for when they're ready to procreate.
Like the South Park, when they send all the men to Mars.
That's it. That's like it's not a joke, and there is a difference between the two.
Yeah.
And it's getting to a point now where it's like I don't even want to like socialize with women anymore.
Yeah.
Not because I think women are bad people. Like that chick over there down at the end of the bar, I'm sure she's a perfectly nice girl. I'm sure she wouldn't do anything or say anything, but it's like, I just don't even want to be involved with this shit anymore.
It makes you, I mean, I'm not a single man, so like I don't have to worry about this. And
I am, and I'd rather come home and make love to my hand.
And this is like kind of what I was talking. Like that was like the first time at that concert that like I've had like a girl, you know, talking to me who doesn't know me at all, you know, who wanted to dance with me and stuff, and I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I was like Ricky Bobby.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I didn't know idea. What's okay now? I don't know what's okay. Like,
yeah.
Can you even like even in like a lot of the like can you hit on girls? Because like if you're creepy to them, now all of a sudden you're like a sexual harasser.
Well, no. I have this theory. that creepy is entirely relative.
Yeah,
right?
it is completely relative.
So for me, right?
Me and you could both go hit on the same girl, say the same 5 lines.
And if she's attracted to me and not to you,
I'm creepy. You're
and
not.
I'm charming.
That is completely.
That's
that
exactly
is completely
what
true.
it is. It's all a matter of perspective from what she thinks.
Yeah.
If if she finds you attractive, then you're charming.
Yep.
If she doesn't find you attractive, you're a creep.
And
I don't even want to deal with that.
I knew a girl who used to like me, and my friend liked her, and she was friends with my friend, but didn't like him, but she liked me. I could tease her ruthlessly, and she would find it hilarious. If he teased her, she's like, you're a fucking asshole. We could say the same things to her. But because she liked me, and she didn't like him, he could say the same. We could both tease her. He was an asshole. It was funny when I said it.
Dude, now Weinstein's got another $10 million lawsuit on his hands.
Yeah, well, good for him. That's what you get.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Harvey Weinstein's a fucking creep. There's no doubt about that. But there are some things that you don't just get to put all of the blame on us men, right? So Harvey Weinstein's certainly a creep, certainly deserves to lose everything he has. When you're pulling your dong out in front of women.
Can't be doing that.
Or allegedly, I mean, he's even got some allegations of rape against him.
Yeah.
You know, that's obviously a problem. But it's like that video we watched earlier. If your boss invites you at 2 o'clock in the morning to come up to his hotel room, he's not calling you up there to go over your curriculum vitae.
No.
Okay, you can say no. And if he dangles your job in front of you, like she said, lose your job.
And then fucking sue his ass.
And then sue his ass.
Yeah.
Like, there are precautions that you can take as well. Like, it's like Republicans and Democrats, men and women, black and white. Like, we're all butting heads with each other and I'm just fucking tired of it. It's always something new.
It is. It's crazy though. But if you just unplug, like if you go into your regular life with the regular people that you're around,
it's not around.
It doesn't even exist.
Nope. Like, I still have a lot of female friends that I could make such horrible crude jokes with.
Like, yeah.
And they would laugh, and it would be a good time, and we're friends, and who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But, like, I can't go up to a woman on the street and be like, look, I think you're a really pretty girl. Would you like to go have a coffee with me? Like, I honestly feel like I can't say that to somebody.
You don't know, dude. You have no. I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you think? What do you mean you think I'm pretty?
I'm glad that I'm not a single man in these times where.
It's like, just because I think you're hot.
Anything questionable that you say, like if you hit on a chick, it could backfire into like you're harassing them or you're,
security.
You're a creep or something. I don't know. It's a weird time to be.
No, it's real. And it's a real struggle, and it's like I don't even care. Yeah. Like it's getting to a point now where, and I had a middle-aged woman say this to me. So this isn't like a dude's opinion. This is coming from a woman that was a fucking hippie. She was an original feminist. She's going, what's going on right now is poison.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is men are just simply going to stop interacting with women.
Yeah.
And I'm already starting to feel that. Like, I'm already like, that girl's really good looking, and I would really like to talk to her, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I would rather just not deal with whatever the fuck repercussions are going to come from that conversation, go home and put on some porn and make love to my hand with some coconut oil. That's what I would rather do. That's what it's coming to, Jeff Mel.
Sad world.
And I don't want to marginalize it because I understand. You know what I mean? Like it's this weird catch-22 that I have where it's like I understand women's plight in this matter, but it's just
can't overcorrect.
Exactly. When is enough enough?
Can't overcorrect. Overcorrecting will just get us in more trouble.
I'm not just going to accept being the enemy because I think I'm a pretty good dude. Have I made lewd comments about women? Fuck yes, I've done it on this show. Go back and listen.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a bad dude. I don't think I'm a creepy guy. I don't think I've sexually harassed. I can't remember the last time that I actually genuinely felt like I've made a female uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm sure I've done it.
Right.
I'm sure we've all done it. But those are mistakes that were made back then.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was 17, I didn't fucking know any better.
Yeah, I mean, if you swing and you miss,
bring back a time from 11 years ago when I was 17 years old in high school and a fucking moron.
I think it's the guys who swing and miss and don't know when to walk out of the batter's box. You know what I'm saying? It's like guys have kind of a feeling.
I get that.
There's guys who definitely have a feeling if you swing and you miss. But in like, I don't know, for me, when I used to swing and miss, which was a lot.
Yeah, of course.
I would just, all right, well, on to the next one. You know, you know, swinging 100 pitches, you might hit one.
I'm batting worse than Don Kelly.
All right. Is it possible to hit worse than zero?
That's the thing. Like, isn't that just a matter of like in a lot of situations, it's just coming down to communication and somebody not understanding a portion of that communication. Yeah. Like, I've always been able to tell when a chick's not interested in me.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like it's fine. Like, it always sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it always sucks.
It hurts, right?
But like. You get it.
You want to believe you got a shot with every chick, right?
Right, of course.
We all know that ain't true.
You just got to walk away.
Yeah.
You just get and that's and I know what people are going to say, like these new age feminists with with the whole Harvey Weinstein deal. Like, you're missing the point. It's about men having power over women in the workplace, and it's like, I understand that, but you still have a hand in it. You know what I mean? Like I said, Harvey Weinstein's a fucking creep.
Should have been snuffed out a long time ago, but
it was. What was the one that I saw? The one against Warren Moon. Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
The allegations against Warren Moon and some. Hold on, I had it here. Where did it go? I thought I had it. Oh, here it is. Of course, it's not going to show up. Where's the Warren Moon one? Didn't he start like some sort of a publication of some kind?
I don't know.
Hang on, I've got it. There's Mario Batali. Here we go. I'm going through a list. Warren Moon. Okay, so here's the accusation. An assistant for his sports marketing firm, Wendy Haskell, accused him of making unwanted and unsolicited sexual advances as part of her role, according to a civil lawsuit. She alleged that she was forced to sleep in the same bed with Warren Moon on a business trip, multiple business trips, while wearing lingerie. And when and hold on, and when she complained, Moon said, "This is what it is." And Haskell also claims that she was also drugged at one point, and when she made complaints, she was demoted. Now, okay, if she was drugged, serious problem.
Yes,
no doubt about
clearly.
that. Obviously a problem. But are you telling me that Warren Moon forced you into his hotel room or wherever that may be? Forced lingerie onto your body and then forced you to lie in a bed with him. Now, if that's what he did
multiple times,
then that's obviously a problem.
Yes.
But you went to Warren Moon's hotel room. You were told to put on that lingerie or you'd be fired or whatever.
Yeah.
You made the decision that instead of being fired, you were going to sacrifice your integrity by putting on that lingerie and sleeping in a bed next to Warren Moon.
Yeah.
You made that decision. Now, is it wrong that Warren Moon put you in that position?
Of course.
No question about it. But you still made a conscious decision.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's kind of part of this whole sexual assault thing that's kind of being lost in the wash.
Yeah.
Women are still making conscious decisions.
There's a lot of gray area in a lot of these. The sports ones are weird. Like some of the sports ones are weird.
Like Darren Sharper should get the fucking death penalty.
Agreed.
Bill Cosby should get the death penalty.
Like this
no
one,
question about it.
Like this one is really weird. It's like it's very strange. And there is like the fact that this went on and like there wasn't like how did you not if this bothered you, how'd you not like do something about it prior?
Like, is there not something to be said for the fact that this woman,
like, didn't
she got demoted, or it's just so interesting that some of these things come out after a woman loses her job. Like, I'm not saying that this is always the case or this is often the case. I don't know what the fucking percentages are, but is it not possible that some of these women are bitter that they're not good at their job and lost their jobs?
It's possible.
Like, is it possible?
I mean, I think there's a lot.
I don't mean to sound insensitive.
Yeah, I
but
know it's a really hard line to walk because some of these women are going to be, they're going to either be exaggerating, they're going to be taking advantage of a situation that they could portray as inappropriate that wasn't necessarily inappropriate. Like the chick, one of the Matt Lauer chicks. Where she
had a consensual affair with Matt Lauer.
Yeah, and then now is saying that he like forced her into that by his power, but like none of the evidence really proves any of that. She's just saying like how I felt inside.
That's the thing. Like,
and so it's like your actions,
like Matt Lauer,
your actions don't match the way you say you felt.
Right.
And so there's no way for us to know how you really felt. All we can go by is your actions. So in these actions, there wasn't any problem with what he was doing in one certain case. Obviously, there was other cases where Matt Lauer's a fucking creep animal pig, right?
Sure. Deserved to lose his job.
Yeah, of course.
No question about that.
Maybe in other cases he deserved, to stand trial for maybe what he did.
But what I think
some of these are really stretching, normal. I wouldn't say normal behavior, but behavior that wasn't looked upon like this. Past now we are stretching these terms so wide.
Yeah,
there's such a huge net we're casting.
What I think is being missed is that I think probably a good percentage of these allegations are real.
Yeah,
but it's so easy for any other woman to just decide I'm going to glom onto this.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this. And what happens there is now you marginalized real victims.
Yes,
and I think that's the issue that I have with it. Like, I mean, basically any woman that ever came in contact with Harvey Weinstein, who is an absolute creep, evidence and even proof in certain situations
He's a king of creeps.
Has come out that Harvey Weinstein unquestionably is an absolute animal.
King of
creeps.
He's
an absolute creep. No question about it. But at the same time, any woman that ever came in contact with Harvey Weinstein can now decide, I'm going to get in on this. Like, I just think that that's a factor that has to be considered.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, with these sexual crimes, it's just so gray.
It is so gray.
Because any woman can just come out and say 10 years ago Harvey Weinstein did this to me. Now the counter argument to that is, well, what woman would put herself through that? Well, I don't know. What woman would want to just have a random $10,000 in her pocket?
Yeah, any woman can come out and say any guy that had power or money that hit on them harassed them.
That's it.
That's the net we've cast. That any guy with money or power hit on them, like the and there's two ways to look at it. There's guys who just had really bad pickup lines, and there's guys like fucking.
Oh, you mean like the guy from NFL Network?
Like Donovan McNabb.
Look at the titties on that
like
one.
That guy. That guy didn't do anything wrong, really. What he did was inappropriate, right? Inappropriate.
He didn't commit a crime.
He didn't commit any crimes. He didn't even sexually harass women because all he was doing is pointing out things on like Twitter to porn stars who are sexual beings in the first place. That's what their job is, right? Is to be a sexual being.
That we have an incredible amount of respect for.
And they sign up sort of for that, to have guys comment, and that's their fan base. That's how they make their money. It's different than when like Donovan McNabb was doing, when he was like seriously harassing that chick and making all kinds of very crude sexual innuendo and basically throwing it out there that he wanted to fuck this chick in a very crude way. Like, I could see that. That's harassment. You know what I mean? You're not just hitting on a chick and she's not feeling it back. You are saying very lewd things to her.
But it's turning into a thing now where, like, you can't even notice a woman physically. Like, doesn't it just seem that way?
Well,
Maybe I'm over exaggerating.
And I also feel like you know who like doesn't get a fucking like sexual harassment claim? Like Tom Brady, Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I mean? All the good looking dudes. All the good-looking dudes,
that just
they are just skirting around. Like, even Affleck, right? Affleck is probably the best-looking dude that's been accused so far of all these crimes. And Affleck disappeared into the night because of all these ugly dudes with the more terrible shit they did. Then grab some boobs or grab some ass here or there.
Isn't that it? That's what we were talking about with sometimes it's just a matter of perspective from the female's point of view. If she finds you attractive, she will find you charming.
Right.
If she does not find you attractive, she will find you to be creepy.
Yeah, and like I mean, some of these guys are successful with what the same pickup lines they used on a girl that is harassed. They got laid by one with the same lines. You know what I mean? So if it works one time, I mean, if you're fishing and you throw a worm in,
I just don't
next time, and you catch something big, next time you're going to use worms again.
I just don't like this idea that a man wanting to have sex with a woman, I want to have sex with 20 women that I see every single day. Every single day I see 20 women that I say, I would love to have sex with that woman.
Yep.
And I just don't like this idea of wanting to have sex with a woman being construed as some crime. Like stop trying to make me feel bad about that.
I'm not objectifying you. I'm just biologically attracted to you.
What's the first thing you notice about any person that you ever meet?
Oh, their appearance.
What they look like.
Yeah.
Why? Because you always see a person before you hear them, before you smell them, before you listen to them.
Yep.
Like, we're still animals that want to fucking procreate.
Yeah.
And we've come to this time in our human history where there's just this super gray area between just wanting to engage in our animal instincts and being a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
Like, the line between those two things has been so blurred, and it terrifies me as a single guy. It really does.
Oh, I could imagine.
Because can you imagine, right? I go out and I meet a young lady at an outing anywhere. Right. Maybe mutual friends are involved. Maybe Jeff, maybe you introduce me to a young lady and we hit it off. She likes me, I like her. I take her home, I have sex with her. 2 weeks later, she goes to you and says, Dan raped me that night.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that I think 99% of women would not do that.
No.
But the culture that we've created with social media and with all of these sexual assault allegations puts that thought in my head.
Right.
I don't think most women are going to do that.
I'm even talking like you could go out to like a night of like drinks at a bar where there's dancing and you can put your hands on a girl's hips and if she doesn't like it, you sexually harassed her. And like if she didn't tell you to stop and you kept your hands on her hips, or maybe, you know, you like if you felt that you weren't being pushed back against, let's say. Obviously, I feel like you would know, I would know that if a girl wasn't digging it, you'd let off.
Yes.
Right? But if like she just changes her mind the next day that she didn't like it,
she sobers up.
You sexually assaulted her.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me at this
You know what's
point.
funny is like the last 2 minutes of conversation that we've just had, I know there are people that are going to listen to that and go, you're victim blaming.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that and the thing is, I don't feel like I will never want to victim blame. I believe that there are people out there that truly are harassed. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say I'm victim blaming. I'm trying to say because the net is cast so wide, what happens is those ideas get into people's minds that the net is that wide and they can say something like that. But as before, you wouldn't like it, but you would just go on with your life and not talk to you again, let's say.
Yeah.
Right? They would just not talk to you, not call you again, think you're a creep, whatever, and move on with their life. But now, in the world we live in, you sexually harass me. I'm going to tell people that you did that just because I didn't like it.
Just to speak to that point, I think it wasn't this past summer.
We're getting to the point where regret is becoming an assault.
Kind of.
That's basically what I was trying to get to. Not victim blame, but regret is an assault.
I will tell you this. It wasn't this past summer. It was the summer before that. And I was seeing this girl for a little while. And, you know, we'd gone out several times and really hit it off. And one day, she was the first girl that has ever accused me of being creepy. And I was fucking offended by that. Because in my 28 years of life,
you've never been called creepy
I had
before.
never been accused of being creepy in my entire life. And I'm looking back at like what I did, and I still can't find it. I can't figure out what it is that I did to this girl that would make her think that I was creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked to people about this. Like, that really fucked me up for a minute.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that?
Because it's not fun.
Like, I sort of thought about that, like, when that girl approached me at the concert. I was like, I must be so unassuming. That, like, I just look safe. You know what I mean?
That used to be something you didn't want to be.
Like, I just look like a nice guy, I guess. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do anything.
She's not seeing the same thing I'm seeing, Jeff.
Right? So, like, even to the point where the guy friend was like, hey, I'm going to go, like, get a beer. You want to watch my friend? You know? Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave a guy he's met for 10 minutes alone with a girl that he brought there. You know what I mean? And in a general sense, that'd be dangerous, but not with me. So I'm just unassuming dude.
I'm going to tell you, Jeff, I love this show. Do you know why that is? Because we're almost an hour into the show, and we've literally gotten to nothing on the list of topics.
That's a two-person squad for you. That's what happens.
I don't get this with Dave.
I rip and I rhyme. I rhyme and I rip.
The bottom line is, just to close the topic, look, Jeff and I are both, I think we're both good dudes. I understand the plight of a woman, but there is a place where we as a society can take this that is fucking poisonous.
Yeah.
And I think we're really on the edge of that table.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, there's a teetering going on.
Because I'm already starting to feel it.
There's teetering going on for sure. But we'll see.
Just be a good feminist. Don't be a bad feminist.
Do you want to go to another break, or do you want to go to do you want to do another topic? We got still like 3 things we need to.
We're gonna have a show meeting right now.
Yeah, we got 3 things we need to pack in. This would be a really long segment if we try to pack them all in.
We can do a little bit more.
We can do one more and then come back with picks and the past segment that we.
Oh well, there is new news on the whole Rick Pitino Louisville scandal.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
The big name in the whole scandal that really got this thing jumping off was the recruitment of Brian Bowen.
I haven't seen this yet. You promised me that you'd show me.
Is this it right here? No, this isn't it. Where'd I put it? See, ESPN's website just constantly wants to fucking reload on me. Where'd it go? It might be gone. I think ESPN got rid of it.
No way.
No, I think they might have.
We got past already? New stories?
Where the fuck did it go? Now I'm upset. Because Brian Bowen finally spoke out with ESPN. Let me see if I can search for it. Show meeting on the air. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal.
Had it queued up.
I did.
Not anymore. Stupid internet. Breaking news. Dan didn't find it yet.
I did not find it yet.
I don't know why the breaking news sounder just went off. Do you?
Yeah, I played it.
On purpose?
Nope.
I didn't think so. There you go.
Here it is. Who did he speak to? He spoke to Jeff Goodman from ESPN. Now, normally, this is just a fucking article.
Oh, come on.
They got rid of the video. But anyway.
Oh, go back. This is an ESPN. This is some wax side thing. Use the ESPN. There you go.
Right here?
Yeah.
Let's see if this one shows.
There it is.
Video.
There's the video.
Are we going to get an ad?
No.
Oh, we're not going to get an ad! Wait, we might still get an ad.
Yeah, we got an ad for sure.
For
Damn you!
We'll just talk amongst ourselves for the next 12 seconds.
Stupid PlayStation.
I swear to God. This is why we can't get syndicated.
In these 10 seconds, I'm going to tell you to go to that theater in Novi, the giant one. Go to it.
Oh, wait, here we go.
That there was a payment to a family member.
His hair is ridiculous, by the way.
What did you know about this?
I didn't know anything at all. The same way the whole media found out is the same way I found out.
So when you heard your dad was involved, how did you react to that?
I really didn't believe it. I still didn't believe it. To this day, I really didn't believe it.
Brian, has your dad...
I'm going to pause this for a second just because I want to point out that when Jeff Goodman speaks, he always looks like he's trying to read fine print somewhere.
He looks like a cartoon character.
Come to you at all to try to explain everything that's gone down and what's happened?
Because I know that I don't want to know anything. Like whatever is happening, I don't want to know anything about it. I just want to see what happens with all the outcomes and everything. I've let them know that I'm very upset as far as not being able to play and everything. But as far as the investigation and everything and all that, I don't even want to talk about it at all. So I just brush that past.
What was Dawkins' involvement in your recruitment?
I would say it's a guy I could go to, like, is this a trustworthy guy? Anytime I need to ask anything, whether it's about a coach or about the team or, the guys, just anything at all, that's a guy I could go to.
How do you feel about him?
I've seen all the reports about him and everything, and if the allegations are, truly true, I'm really mad. I can't say where I want to say. I'm really mad, at him, for putting me in this position. Pretty much is, if they say all that, it's just like I'm just really. There's nothing I can say. I'm just so mad. It's just like there's nothing else to say.
So just to recap, so the whole Louisville scandal and the reason Rick Pitino was fired is that Louisville and Rick Pitino were in cahoots with Adidas to get recruitment to Louisville for promises for contracts with Adidas once they've gone to the NBA. That's what they're promising parents, to get people to go to Louisville as part of their sponsorship at Louisville, right? So Brian Bowen, and Dave knows a little bit more about this than either of us, but Brian Bowen was a guy that was recruited to a lot of good schools. He was a highly touted recruit, but he wasn't, to nobody's knowledge was he ever talking to Louisville. All of a sudden he signs with Louisville.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of broke this whole deal wide open. Now, listening to Brian Bowen, I don't know whether to believe him or not.
I don't believe him at all.
I think he was incredibly straight-faced. But here's the reason I don't believe him. The reason I don't believe him is because what happened? Did your dad just... Okay, if only your dad was getting bought off to send you to Louisville and you had no idea... Don't you think as a human being you would have some semblance of a suspicion when your dad woke you up on a Saturday morning, poured you some cornflakes and said, son, you're going to Louisville?
Yeah. That's why I mean, like, if it's your decision to decide what school you're going to, and at no point do you talk to Louisville, well, you might have talked to them, but you're not interested to go there. You're interested in other schools. You didn't just one day wake up and go, you know what? They didn't really recruit me, but I'm just going to go to Louisville now. They weren't even in my top 5. I guess I'll just go there. Like, you don't do that.
That's a good reason not to believe him.
Your parent, and there's no way that his dad goes, you're going to this school, and you don't have a choice. He's the ball player. The only reason his dad could get any money from Louisville in the first place is because of him. So there's no way he didn't know, at least on a, subsurface level. He knew a little bit more than surface level, like he's saying now. Well, I mean, I knew this guy. I just talked to him. He just could tell me whatever I needed.
Like, even a 17-year-old kid
and I don't even believe my dad was taking money. I don't even believe it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You didn't see any of that chatter?
Meanwhile, Dad's cruising around in a brand new Mercedes.
You didn't see any of that chatter? There's no way. I don't believe that at all. I believe his dad might have been like, listen, it would be very good for you and our family if you go to Louisville.
The Cardinal, wink, wink.
Yeah, to go to Louisville.
Don't you want to play for Coach Pitino? Wink, wink.
Take him to a dealership, set him down on a sweet ride, and go, maybe we should go to Louisville. Not saying this car could be ours, but I'm just saying maybe you should go there. Stuff like that. Like, there's no way there wasn't even a little bit of that, because he had to be coerced into going to Louisville.
Something had to have been offered to him to go to Louisville.
He had to be coerced.
Whether it was from his dad, hey, son.
Or the recruiter.
If you go to Louisville.
Somebody with knowledge of what was going down.
Because if my dad was like, if I'm like this prominent college athlete and I'm like, I want to go to arbitrary schools. North Carolina, Auburn, Texas A&M, and UCLA. Yep. Those are my 4 schools. Those are the schools that I love the coaches. I'd really like to play for one of those 4 programs. And my dad came to me and said, well, if you go to this school, a school that I have no affiliation with, it's not my alma mater. Your mother didn't go there. We've never even been to the state of Kentucky. But if you go here, good things are going to happen to you.
I think this is the school for you.
I think even as a 17-year-old kid, I'd be like, Dad, you're freaking me out.
Yeah, like, why the fuck would I go there? I don't want to go there.
I told you where I wanted to go.
I have 4 schools. It's not even one of those.
For some reason, I want to go play basketball at Auburn.
It's not even like it was like your 4th school, your least favorite. It was
your safety school, if you will.
Yeah, it was just a school that it wasn't even on your list, really. So, there's no way I believe him. I don't believe him at all. He knew something. This is, and you know what?
I'm just disappointed I can't play.
You know what's really tells the tale of that for me in this little interview, in this minute 42?
His dumb hair.
No, the fact that he just repeats the same thing over and over and over again. Do you know how you not get caught up in a lie? If you just keep repeating what you're saying over and over and over again. Because you can't slip up because you're saying the same shit over and over and over again. I'm just really mad. I
can't believe my dad would do that.
I can't even say how mad I am.
By the way, have you seen my Porsche out front? It's awesome, man.
I guess I can't play.
All right. Should we take another break? That was the first topic we actually got to that's on the list here. We're not going to get to everything today.
No, we got picks and...
Our new old segment.
Yep.
Bringing back a throwback.
We'll do a little Lions in there, too.
And maybe a little Lavar Ball.
Yeah, maybe.
We might fit it in.
Yep.
You're listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. Jeff Mel, myself, Dan Griffin, SportsRadioDetroit.com. And once again, do not go anywhere.
In your soul, Mr. Grinch, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
This is Dave Burkett from the Detroit Free Press, and you're listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports.
Hey! Happy Festivus, everyone! It was December 24th on Hollis Avenue at the dark when I seen a man chilling with his dog at the park. I approached him very slowly with my heart full of fear. Looked at his dog, oh my God, a ill reindeer. But then I was feeling good, the man had a beard and a bag full of goodies, 12 o'clock at night. So I turned my head a second and the man was gone. But he must have dropped his wallet back dead on the lawn. I picked the wallet up and then I took a pause.
All right, welcome back. Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. Still just a 2-man crew. We do have Batman here, though.
We do.
Almost a life-size version.
Michael Keaton Batman, right?
It is. That's Batman 89 right there. That voice you just heard is Jeff Mel, and I, of course, am Dan Griffin, invading your ear hole, as always, on SportsRadioDetroit.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever the hell you listen to podcasts. And, Jeff, we had brought something up earlier in the show regarding the newly dubbed offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, Sir J.B. Coots.
Certainly.
So you tweeted something out on the show feed. Was it on the show feed or your own feed?
No, it was the show feed.
Earlier today, regarding a statement that J.B. Coots made about the Detroit Lions running game, which was...
Our scheme is as versatile as anyone else's in the league. Now, to defend him a little bit, he might be right that they are versatile. It doesn't mean they're effective. I mean, you could be as versatile as you want. If none of it works, it doesn't really matter. So, good for him.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard a Detroit coach say in quite some time.
Nothing versatile about a one-dimensional offense. Definitely not.
Oh, yeah, it's versatile, all right. You got one guy you hand the ball off to, he shakes his ass in the backfield for 5 minutes before he finally decides to find a hole. You got another guy who's... I don't even think he's actually ever even really been a running back in its true sense. Then you've got another guy who just bull rushes right into his own center's ass.
Yep.
And then you've got another guy who's all right who tends to find a yard or two on each carry. If that's your idea of versatility, okay, JB Coots.
Yep.
I'm on board with you.
He can attack you in 3 different shitty ways.
Actual audio of the Lions running game?
Jeez.
All he left was a batch of hepatitis on the toilet seat.
I really hope that's what we're saying about him at the end of the year.
That's the delusion of Jim Caldwell is rubbing off on his coordinators.
Oh, we're very versatile. Yeah. Versatile? Is that what you just said?
Definitely versatile. Diverse and versatile at the same time.
Versatile. I just created a new word.
I like it. I mean, it kind of works.
It does.
Works on 2 different levels.
Very versatile.
Very versatile.
That's the Lions running game.
That's what you got for me, Dan.
Dave, if you're listening, remember that word.
Dave give you his picks?
He did give me his picks.
That's good.
You're not ready to do them already, are you?
Oh, you can do picks.
We have
a long show already, so
I gotta find the music.
God damn it, Dan.
I didn't pull it up. That was my mistake. I was too excited to start the new segment.
Plus, we get to make fun of all the wonderful bowl game.
And how versatile they all are.
Yeah, they're definitely versatile.
All right. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty on the picks.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end here.
But we'll get them going.
Super Bowl show will make or break us.
That's right. Well, I will tell you this. We all had a terrible week last week. Mine was far worse than anybody else's, which is something that you and Dave both needed.
Yes. I need you to fall on your face a little bit.
I went 0-5.
That's disgusting. And please tell...
After going 5-0 the week prior.
Thank you. Tell the people how good you did and then how terrible you were.
Yeah. That's the picks, baby.
Yep.
You and Dave didn't do a ton better, both going 2-3. And that puts the standings. I'm still in first place by a couple of games at 37-27-1. Dave in second place at 35-29-1. And Jeff still bringing up the rear at 33-31-1.
Yep. I'm still there, but I'm close.
Dave did deliver me his picks via text, so don't worry, people. You're still going to get the opinion of David Faze in some form or fashion on this show. It is bowl season, Jeff. And where else would we start other than the Camping World Bowl?
Good old Camping World Bowl.
Were we going through some of these stupid names? Do you still have those pulled up?
Oh, I got them.
Who's sponsoring the Camping World Bowl again?
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Margaret Thatcher's old underwear?
I don't know who's
Camping World Bowl?
It's just Camping World, I would assume.
No, you said there was a different sponsor.
No, the Camping World Bowl is just the Camping World Bowl.
Oh, okay. So it's its own sponsor?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Camping World is the sponsor of the bowl.
Okay. Well, playing in that game, in case anybody cares, and nobody does, the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on the Pokes from Oklahoma State. Dave's selection... Dave's going to go first in all these because he's not here, so I'm going to make him go first. Dave's selection, the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
All right.
Jeff Mel.
Can you give me a line?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oklahoma State giving up 6 to the Hokies.
Yeah, I'll take Oklahoma State. They just love to score points, and they're a very good team. I think Virginia Tech is good too, but I just think Oklahoma State's they're such a tough offense to play against.
Problem that you run into is that Virginia Tech's offense is no joke either.
No, I agree.
Very underrated quarterback that Dave likes to brag about because he's from Saline, Michigan.
Exciting.
Virginia Tech plays in the ACC. They don't play much better defense in the ACC.
No, aside from Clemson and maybe Miami, they're pretty much, it's nothing beyond that point.
I like you know what? I should have looked up the over-under just out of curiosity. Oh, wait. It might be right here.
It's probably a lot to a little.
Oh, never mind. I don't have it pulled up. Doesn't matter. I don't know that Virginia Tech's defense is good enough to slow down the Oklahoma State. I think this is going to be like Oklahoma State 57, Virginia Tech 48.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm expecting that as well.
But give me the Oklahoma State Cowboys. We turn now to who sponsors the Alamo Bowl, Jeff.
Alamo.
If you could tell us this.
Alamo.
It's not Alamo beer from King of the Hill, is it?
Let's take a look here. Valero.
Oh, for the Valero Alamo Bowl.
I do want to get my favorite bowl game name in here right now, real quick, though.
Okay.
The Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. By far my favorite bowl.
And then we were trying to figure out what the hell Gasparilla is.
Yes.
We found out he's like a Caribbean pirate.
Yeah. I like how it's like the Gasparilla Bowl is the name of the bowl, and it's sponsored by Bad Boy Mowers. It's so funny. Some of these names.
You're gonna get it.
And why they're not
the Red Bull Fountain of Youth Bowl?
Like why they're not consistent either. Like the Military Bowl presented by Northrop Grumman. Or Grumman.
Isn't there a San Diego Catholic Credit Union?
Yes, San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl.
Oh, that's the Michigan State Bowl.
That's the Michigan State Bowl. And then there's the the Academy Sports Plus Outdoors Texas Bowl.
Is it the Outdoors Texas Bowl because it's outdoors, or is that like part of the company name?
I think I don't know, but it's two sponsors apparently. It's probably it's one. Is it the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl? Is it the Texas Bowl?
It's
sponsored by the Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Oh my God, who cares?
But they're all different. I don't understand why they're all they're none of them. They're not consistent. Like the Valero Alamo Bowl, it makes sense. All right. Some of them are presented by. Some of them don't even have a sponsor. It's ridiculous.
In that Valero Alamo Bowl, the Stanford Cardinal taking on the TCU Horned Frogs in a Pac-12 Big 12 clash. Stanford getting 2.5 to the Horned Frogs, and David Faye's selection, the Stanford Cardinal.
Ooh, they're getting what?
2.5.
Stanford's getting 2.5?
That's correct.
I'm going to say it's TCU, but they're in San Antonio. This is a home game. It's only 2. TCU is ranked higher than Stanford. Give me TCU.
Look, I don't know what Dave was smoking when he picked the Cardinal.
I just think he likes him.
He might.
He likes Shaw.
He might.
He wants to give Shaw a handy.
But TCU is a legitimate football team.
Yeah, they
I mean,
are.
this is a team
They
that
score points, too.
that was an eyelash away from a playoff bid just a few weeks ago. It just turned out that Oklahoma was a little bit better than them, and on the day that they played them, a lot better than them.
Yeah. Well, they have Baker Mayfield, so
TCU's a good team. That's a tough defense. And if you think this, and if Stanford thinks they're going to go all Stanford and try to line up and mow over the TCU Horned Frogs, I'm sorry, they've got another thing coming.
Yes, they do.
This matchup screams TCU. So I too will take the Horned Frogs. As we move on to the San Diego County Catholic Credit Union Holiday Bowl, sponsored by the makers of nunchucks. Featuring
who makes nunchucks?
I don't know.
Who's the world leader in nunchuck manufacturing?
I don't know.
That's a Chuck
But
Norris?
I was thinking earlier today, for no reason in particular, that nunchucks made out of a mold from Chuck Norris's dong would be the most deadly weapon in the world.
Yeah, once he's dead, it's definitely.
That Holiday Bowl, of course, Jeff Mel, features David Faye's Michigan State Spartans and Mike Leach's Washington State Cougs. I don't think I need to tell you who David Faye selected in this one.
Yeah, I think
of course, the Michigan State Spartans. Who do you got, Jeff?
It's a tough call. I know Michigan State so well, so let's see. I'm gonna go. What's the points again? God,
I don't think I gave them.
You didn't give points yet.
2.5. Michigan State getting 2.5.
2.5.
Remember, this game's in California. It's on the West Coast.
I'm gonna go with Washington State. They score 8 more points on average. They only allow 4 more points on average. They love to run the ball. They average 375 yards in the air. Big-time quarterback, 30 TDs. Give me Falk and the Cougs.
I'm going with you. I'm going right along with you.
Yep. Suck it, David.
And here's the thing. I don't feel good about it because every time I've picked against Michigan State, it seems this year, they fuck me right inside my asshole.
Honestly, if it was like 6 or 7, I'd probably go Michigan State. I'd probably go Michigan State. But in this case, on the West Coast, only 2 points.
Mike Leach's going to air it out.
Yeah, they're going to air it out. Michigan State is gonna have to hold tight and not get beat over the top. So, be a tough game, but give me the Cougs. Very evenly matched team.
Agreed. That game, let's be honest, that game can go either way.
Yeah.
That's why we like to pick those ones.
Yep.
We move, Jeff Mel, to the NFL. Not a good slate of games this week. There was a great slate of games last week, but 2 of them were ruined by ridiculous rules and terrible officiating. We don't need to get back into that discussion again. Really the only good game of the week here, Jeff. Playoff implications in this one. As the Atlanta Falcons head to the Bayou to take on Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Atlanta getting 6 on the road at the Dome. David Faze selects them Dirty Birds.
Ooh.
Going with the Falcons.
The Birds is dirty.
To beat that 6.
Wow. Dave wants to see the Lions out of the playoffs.
He's taking the points.
He wants them out of the playoffs.
Don't we all?
Well, I'm going to go with
Saints let us down last week with that 15-point spread against the Jets.
Who dat? Give me them Saints. 6-1 at home. 10-4 on the year. They got players on offense.
How are they against
everywhere.
the spread? That's the question.
That's a good question.
Well, we know they're at least 0-1 after last week.
Yep. The over-under on that game is crazy. 52.5 points. Whoa. Yeah, something's got to give. They both give up 20.1 points a game, so something's got to give. Saints offense.
The thing is, both of these teams are fighting for playoff position. And Atlanta's in a slightly dire straits, although last Sunday's win helped them a lot.
Doesn't help. They got to go on the road to the Saints, and I believe on the road to Carolina as well. Ooh. That's tough 2 games. That's why the Lions still got a shot.
I want to say for the Saints that that last week was an anomaly. And it wasn't really that big of it was a 15-point spread in the NFL.
Yep.
And we still took the Saints. You and I both did, Jeff. Looking back on that, not the best decision.
No.
And I knew I didn't feel good about it at the time, but a 6-point spread at home.
I think they can win by 7 this
against
week.
Atlanta. Matt Ryan's only got 4 more touchdowns than interceptions this year. Caused a couple turnovers, New Orleans. Get the job done.
New Orleans got something to play for, though. They both do, but New Orleans really has got a division to play for.
We move to the final pick. Game of the week, game of the year, maybe, right here.
Yeah, game of the year for sure.
And I did not
This is a playoff game.
That the game of the year was going to take place on the banks of the Ohio River.
It's a playoff game, essentially.
As your Detroit football Lions are giving up 3.5 on the road to the Cincinnati bungling Bengals. David Faze, who do you think he took, Joe?
He took them Lions.
He sure enough did.
Yep.
He sure enough did.
Sure enough.
I don't know what I want to do here. I'll even go first.
All right.
You got 2 coaches you don't trust. 2 coaches that should be fired. One of them is going to be fired at the end of the year. I think the two teams that cannot run the football.
No. The Bengals actually run the ball worse than the Lions do on a game average.
Matt Stafford outside in the cool weather. Andy Dalton just being Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
This one's tough.
Yep.
Just because I want to believe in the firing of Jim Caldwell, I'm going with my heart on this one. Please, for the love of God, give me the Bengals.
All right. All right, so...
that leaves just you, Jeff.
Yeah, it's not going to be terribly cold. 36 degrees. It'll be chilly, but not freezing.
Under 40 degrees.
Neither team can run the ball. Lions pass the ball at a much higher clip. Lions offense, much better at it. Lions offense, average almost 9 points better than Cincinnati. They do, 9 points better than Cincinnati a game. They average...
what happens when the Lions get behind 10-0, though?
Yeah, that's always the question, but I'm going to go with your Detroit Lions on this one.
Wow!
And I think I just beat that half point. They win 24-20, something along those lines.
There you have it. Them's is the picks.
Them's is the picks.
We're going to have one more pick segment to do the big bowl games, too.
Yep.
So the college football season of the picks, not quite over.
The college football season's no, but I think, would you do the entire picks all the way to the Super Bowl, unless there's a clear winner?
Something like that.
Yeah, through the NFL playoffs.
These are games worth 2.
But yeah, I mean, what a season it's been for your Detroit Lions.
Is that a joke?
No. It really haven't been as terrible as we'd like to think they've been, but it's an eye test thing.
In my opinion, mediocre is terrible now.
You've
been mediocre long enough. It's time to take a step forward.
It's watching the games. But you know what this kind of does tell me? To know how bad of a coach Jim Caldwell is, he can't get...
Happy Festivus, everyone!
He puts 9 players on the field. He makes terrible decisions during the game. It makes me happy that the fact that they can still win means that they have a roster that's competitive in this league, and if they can get the right coach, they might be able to take the next step. That's the only silver lining I can take out of this. I'm being delightful Dave since he's not here.
Good for you.
You know, I gotta hold it up for him. Somebody's got to be delightful.
I mean, even he's.
The sound of my voice doesn't sound very delightful, but
even he's been letting it go. No, you know what sounds way less delightful is Mike's impression of your voice.
Yeah. Mike's not quite... He's not a good impersonator. I should just say that. I mean, I thought it was very funny, but... I mean, it's hard to replicate that beautiful laugh. That male witch's cackle.
How seriously are you taking this Floyd Mayweather going to the MMA deal? UFC deal?
I don't know how to fucking take Floyd Mayweather seriously.
I don't think it's possible.
I do think it's possible. We kind of talked about this in text during the week or on Facebook when I sent it to you. Floyd Mayweather draws the money, right?
Oh my God, no!
So if Floyd Mayweather wanted to go to the UFC, he would draw such a large pay-per-view event if he had a large percentage of the contract.
But the way the UFC pays their fighters...
Yeah, they would have signed him to a completely different deal.
Yeah, it would have to be the Floyd Mayweather exclusive contract where he gets to make $60 million.
Then what's his name? Connor comes back, and he'll be able to do that too. So the big boys the money will start flowing to the big boys that way.
The money's already decent.
It would be almost. It would no, it's not.
Well, no. Comparatively, like if you're a top level fighter in the UFC, you're making some pretty good dough.
Like a UFC.
But yes, the way they pay their fighters with the show purse and the win purse, and everybody gets the. Because there's a governing body over the UFC as to where there's not in boxing.
Yeah,
the fighters and the promoters make what they want.
Like Conor McGregor wasn't going to make $100 million in 10 years in the UFC.
No, and he
did it in one fight.
He made it in one fight.
So,
where he held his own a lot better than I think could have been expected.
Yeah, and so the problem is who's Mayweather going to fight he's going to die. He's going to get his head punched in.
No, he's not. He's going to get choked out or get his arm broken off in an armbar by somebody.
I think he
but
could get knocked out.
But Dana White's not a moron. He would put Floyd Mayweather against a fighter that
it wouldn't work that way because the only way people would buy it is if it was against a GSP.
It would have to be against. It would have to be against a top tier fighter. But he would make sure that he put him in the octagon against a fighter that
would
possesses a style that would keep Floyd Mayweather in some semblance of an entertaining fight. Some sort of like
a stand-up fighter,
right? A kickboxer specialist of some kind. I don't know who that is. Like I've said many times on the show, I'm a casual MMA fan. I can't name any guys.
Yeah.
But I don't watch every pay-per-view and all that shit. I don't know everybody.
Just nobody I could see that he could fight that he wouldn't just get rolled up on in the first round.
I'm sure. But Dana White would do his best.
Yeah, it doesn't go the other way around like with boxing.
So Floyd Mayweather would have to get $50 million to at a minimum.
Yeah, at a minimum to step into a ring.
To step into the octagon against anybody.
Yep.
But I mean, we all want to see it.
We all want to see it.
Because we all hate Floyd Mayweather.
To see it. Oh, we'd love to see it. But it'll never happen.
I mean, that fight could last 12 seconds and I'd be satisfied.
And really the only way, like when we were talking about that, is that if they could make the pay-per-view purse so large that it'd be worth him to sign.
To sign a separate deal.
And I'm not going to say it's impossible because we never thought he'd ever fight McGregor.
What's crazier, that or LaVar Ball's new basketball league?
LaVar Ball's new basketball league. The idea that if you were to make this league as if nobody had ever thought to do this and know that it is not profitable, because why the fuck would people watch that instead of watching college basketball, which is a far superior product than what he would be at.
LaVar Ball is suggesting that he's going to create a league called the JBA, the Junior Basketball Association. It's going to be designed for young men that don't want to partake in the one-and-done college basketball ridiculousness and go straight play for LaVar Ball for $3,000 to $10,000 a month. That's the whole idea behind it. And here you go, Jeff. LaVar Ball's popping off about it, as you would expect.
Happy holidays. As you now know, the big baller has created his own league. And you tell me I ain't looking toward the future? Yes, I am. I'm doing something that should have been done a long time ago, giving these guys what they worth. And like I said, the JBA is a heck of a league.
Is it?
It's going to be one of the most
How many
exciting
games have been played, LaVar?
To be a part of this, to show me that you got some support, email us at jbaleague.com.
Can everybody please just email that and just say what a stupid fucking idea that is?
To rope him in with like a really nice couple first lines.
Oh, wow, I really like this
and then
idea.
just tell
You're
him
a fucking turd.
And tell him to eat his
Show
own
me
dick.
how you're going to support. And for you haters out there, keep doing what you've been doing. Nothing. Because you ain't stopping nothing but hating. Yeah. Gridlock, you be the head of them.
You ain't been doing nothing but stopping hating.
The more you talk about me, the better I'm going to get. So keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to keep building this empire. Not only for us, but for the young guys that want to have a great...
He's right about that.
What?
Haters are going to build an empire for LaVar Ball.
They already are,
because hating is marketable.
No,
you can. I mean, he's kind of Donald Trump. He's kind of a genius in that way.
No, it's the media who's made him this way. The media has created their own
and
monster.
he's using it to his advantage.
I don't even know if he is. I believe if the media stopped putting out what he'd say, he would just go away forever. They don't have to write about him. They don't have to do any of it.
Right, but they are, and he's using it.
But they choose to. So the media is really the gatekeeper on this.
But he's still using it. He's still using it.
Well, yeah, because they created him.
He's got 3 sons that can't play basketball.
Lonzo isn't that bad.
He thinks all of them are fantastic.
Here's the issue. If the NBA wanted to fucking squeeze you out of all this, LaVar Ball, all they'd have to do is say, if you don't want to go to college, you can make, let's say $10,000 a month for 4 or 5 months, and you play in the D League your first year. And guess what? LaVar Ball's idea, poof. All the teams are already there. You can draft them, but teams can already have their rights.
Right.
But they can't play on your NBA team for a year. But they can play professionally and get paid, but they're not allowed on your NBA team.
So it's totally obvious to me that this will be an utter failure.
Yes.
And
because if this idea...
But wait a minute. Isn't that what's interesting about LaVar Ball? Literally everything that he's touched, from the Big Baller brand to Lonzo's quote-unquote early success in the NBA, to pulling his two sons out of school to have them go play for a podunk team in Lithuania for, like you said, a guy that's selling porn videos out of his trunk or whatever the hell it is. Literally everything this man has touched has been an out-and-out failure.
Yes.
And he's still an unbelievable celebrity, and he's profiting off of failure.
Yes.
That's what's happening. What is going on in the world when somebody can profit this much off of out-and-out failure?
Utter stupidity. He is a Kardashian, essentially. His family are basketball Kardashians.
That's fair. I like that.
And I hate that it's forced to me. Because you know what? With the Kardashians, I don't have to turn on MTV.
Oh my God, no.
They're not on MTV.
Or wherever the fuck.
They're on E.
On E. I didn't have to turn that on and see them. Yeah, they're on a magazine cover here or there, but I don't have to watch them. You know? Yeah, they'll pop up in my Facebook feed. But
you get to look at Kim's butt, but you're not allowed to objectify it.
But I don't have to click the link. But if I want to go watch some sports, and he's on fucking the first page of ESPN, I have to fucking see it. He's just there. He's everywhere. I can't. All these news networks. You wonder why you're failing and have to fucking to fucking get rid of 100 guys. Guys like LaVar Ball. Covering a guy like this is the reason why you're failing, ESPN. Because nobody cares and nobody wants to see it, but you shove it down their throat so nobody watches. It's absolutely absurd. But yeah, go ahead. Make this stupid basketball league. No one's going to watch it.
Here's the thing.
Who would watch that?
I love the idea. I hate that it's LaVar Balls. It's not really LaVar Balls, as you've stated. This is something that's, Yes.
If this were profitable, it would already exist.
Because I do hate the one and done rule.
Yeah. How are you going to pay players $10,000 a month when who are going to come to the games? Who are going to watch the games? When the guys...
I already don't watch Ice Cube's league.
Because at least in college, guys stay for 3 or 4 years that aren't going to go to the NBA, but they're good college players. So why the fuck... You're not going to have a guy in the Big Baller League for 4 years.
No, dude. What I've been saying is, you got to get rid of the one and done, and that's kind of one of the premises that I like about LaVar Ball's league here. But
now, if LaVar Ball gets rid of the one and done, props to you.
But he's not.
If you trick the NBA,
it's going to be an utter failure. Because the NBA, like you said, the NBA will snuff him out. Because the NBA is not going to take competition from LaVar Ball.
Yeah.
So the NBA's got way more power. They're going to be able to do way more. Because the NBA is ultimately the place that these players want to get to.
Yeah.
So if the NBA blackballs LaVar Ball's league, he has no league.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So honestly, I think the best way to change this, to get rid of the one and done, is you've got two choices coming out of high school. You can go to the NBA. You can go to the draft. Sweet. Go ahead. Somebody drafts you, go play for that team. If you commit to go to a college, you're there for 2 years. Isn't that the way that it used to be? Wasn't that the way that it was before?
Yeah.
You could go straight to the NBA, like LeBron James did, like Tracy McGrady did, like Kobe Bryant did. But if you went to college, you're there for 2 years.
Yep.
And it worked just fine.
Yep. And you got better basketball players that came out of college because they were there for more than 1 year. They weren't rough in their first year.
And you knew if a kid was coming out of high school, you knew he was a great player. Yep. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Yep. Tracy McGrady. He wasn't a Hall of Famer or anything. He was a damn fine player.
Definitely.
For a while.
Yep.
Those guys were there. LeBron James.
Yep.
These were all guys. That's the thing about having the one and done rule. You fixed the NBA tried to fix, or the NBA / college basketball tried to fix a problem that was never there.
No.
There's never a problem. The product in the NBA or the product in college basketball was 1,000,000 times better, in my opinion.
I agree.
Before there was a one and done rule,
you knew who was on your team every year,
and guys were going to stay. Not a lot of guys, because Carmelo Anthony was before the one and done rule.
Yep.
He was one and done, but those guys were pretty few and far between.
Yep.
There weren't a lot of them out there, and the ones that were out there were not good enough to go straight from high school.
Yeah.
And they just blew up in college. That's what Carmelo was. Carmelo wasn't a guy that was going to... he wasn't good enough out of high school. I mean, he's still not good enough.
He loses wherever he goes.
But
it's
he
amazing.
exploded. Oh, he did win a national championship at Syracuse.
That was it.
In that 1 year
college.
he was there.
Good for him. I just think LeVar Ball's a fucking clown.
But it's working for him.
Is it working for him?
Yes, it is. We're talking about him, and he's on TMZ.
Yeah, until all those kids get blackballed from the NBA.
Of course, if you had your way, I would never have brought this up.
Yeah, exactly.
But he did bring us to this classic segment that we're going to bring back that I know the people are wondering about.
Whatever happened to it?
It is a segment that was, for a short period of time, stolen by us by a now defunct radio station.
Yeah, named after our show.
The segment was called Out of Bounds, and it was on a sports radio station that's no longer around because it was run by one particular buffoon.
Yep.
Was fired near the end. We're not going to name any names here.
There were some people
We're not going to do that. We're going to respect these people. But this segment actually did make it to the radio. Not by us.
No.
But by thieves.
Damn thieves.
We, of course, speak of the breakdown.
Well.
We're breaking it down here, Jeff. And we're tying LeVar Ball right into this deal. We got a couple topics here for the breakdown. The first one is a polarizing celebrity like Mr. LeVar Ball that you just absolutely love and don't care why other people hate that person.
Well, I've mentioned this person on the show before. A lot of people hate him, think he's a douche.
He's a little bit of a douche.
I can definitely see why people think he's a douche. But on the other hand,
that's Katy Perry.
But he's a bro on the other hand. And I respect...
and a phenomenal guitarist.
Yeah, and I respect bros. I'm speaking of John Mayer. Not only do I like his music, I think he's the ultimate bro. He does what all of us would do if we could do it. We jam out on the guitar.
Well, not anymore.
We jam out on some clam.
Not in today's landscape. On some clam.
We buy super expensive things. We bang every celebrity we possibly could.
He always found the broads with the nice asses, didn't he? A lot of good-looking turd cutters in his arsenal there.
God, cigar cutters.
No, turd cutters. Little turd snapper.
Yeah, I love John Mayer, and I get a lot of hate for it.
I don't hate you for it.
No,
I don't love John Mayer. I don't hate him.
No, some people hate him though. The day he showed up on Chappelle, I think that's what the day I was like. I like this guy.
Mine's a little more politically controversial. Because I can just see what people on on one side of the aisle blindly are going to say about my choice here.
Donald Trump. I'm just kidding.
Kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
I love me some Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, it's funny.
I understand what network she's on. She's on the liberal equivalent of Fox News. I get it. We don't have to point this out.
Yes.
But I think Rachel Maddow does something that a lot of these news talking heads don't do on MSNBC, on CNN, on Fox News. Call it what it is, folks. Rachel brings fucking facts to the table.
She does bring facts.
She always has. I don't think she skews them as much as certain people would like to say that she does. Does she have her opinion on those facts? Of course she does.
Yeah.
Is it a leftist opinion? Of course it is.
Yeah.
But she does what news is supposed to do. Bring me the facts. Bring me the facts, and if you want to give me your opinion, do it. I'll disagree with it or I'll agree with it. But just what is the news?
Present me with some real things.
Give me the news.
Yes.
So mine's Rachel Maddow.
Oh. Not a Rachel Maddow.
I think she's a. I think
she does bring the facts. I think
she's interestingly attractive.
Oh,
that's right, in like an Ellen DeGeneres kind of way.
Super androgynous kind of way.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. I think I do. I think she's a little attractive. What can I say? Am I allowed to say that? Am I going to get booted from SRD?
If she looked very feminine, I think she'd probably be pretty. But she doesn't look feminine at all.
Well, that's her lifestyle. She rolls with it. She rocks it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
You go, Rach.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Our second topic, we wanted to tie this into the holidays as well.
Yes, we did.
And just give you our Detroit sports Christmas gift. What do you want for Christmas in Detroit sports? Because there's not a lot to talk about. We need a gift.
Yeah, we need a gift.
Some kind.
Something.
What's yours, Jeff?
I mean, I was going to go the whole, like, you could ask every year for this, a Lions playoff berth and victory. Wouldn't that be nice, right? But I'm not even going to shoot for the stars. I'm going to try to hit the moon, all right? I want a 100-yard rusher. Please, run for 100 yards. Somebody, luck into it.
It's gonna be Matthew Stafford.
Okay. Get a 160-yard run. An average, like 3 yards a carry the rest of the game.
Now, Theo Riddick will do that and then blow out his knee.
Please. Theo Riddick can't run for 60 yards without getting caught. Are you kidding me?
Oh, sure he could. Got to get him in space. Get him on like a backwards pass to the sideline.
Just somebody. I mean, and isn't that so telling? That if you can't, like, you can luck into a 100-yard game off one run. You know, one run. You can luck into a 100-yard game. If you get 50 yards or more on one run,
yeah,
you're basically guaranteed.
The fact that the Lions haven't accidentally stumbled into a 100-yard rusher at this point,
super telling.
Is absolutely insanity.
One guy just can't go ham once in like 65 games.
Matthew Stafford breaking off a 50-yard run.
Yeah. Jeez.
Mine is something that's actually been a gift that has come to us in recent years, and it's always been a surprise, and it will be a surprise again this year if this happens. I want to see Michigan basketball surprise us again. Give us another gift.
Now, what is surprise?
Well, I look at Michigan as a team that's probably a tournament team. You know, probably a 8-9 seed tournament team.
I think like anything beyond the Sweet 16 is probably a surprise.
Oh, I think getting to the Sweet 16 would be a gift, especially if you're an 8 or a 9 seed and you got to upset a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 appearance for Michigan. Now, last year that Christmas gift was that goofy plane crash that scared the shit out of everybody, and they go win a goddamn Big Ten tournament, and then they go out and they beat Louisville in the NCAA tournament. And they've just been doing that to us because I've been a guy. I've openly stated on this show multiple times. John Beilein has really tested my patience here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Michigan Hoops goes out and does something we didn't expect.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's going to be the case again this year because I got to have something to root for. I'm losing it. I got nothing.
I just want them to be Michigan State. That would surprise me.
Oh, that's not happening.
I didn't think so. That's why it's a surprise, Dan.
Dude.
That's why it's a surprise.
Both of those games are going to be brutal.
They can win one of them. They can.
Okay, you want to shoot 80% from three?
They
okay.
Hit the threes. They can win on any night.
And then Miles Bridges scores 100 down low.
That's the magic of Michigan's offense and the team is that at they have a chance in any game if they get hot shooting the three.
Anybody has any chance in any game, but the
offense is predicated around you're going to shoot far more threes than the average in the Michigan offense. They live and they die by it.
They sure do, man. They sure do. How about this Chase Winovich story? This is a good heartwarming.
We'll end the holiday show with
holiday story. Did you read about it?
I did. This is a kid close to my heart because I got to profile him when he was a high school player coming to Michigan, and he was from Pennsylvania, but he was an Ohio State fan, and he chose to go to Michigan.
Yeah. So Chase Winovich is he had I think he just originally posted it on social media.
Yeah, he said, "What can I do to help?"
Well, he wears number 15, so he takes to the interwebs and he goes, "All right, if I can get $15,000 donated to Chad Tuff," and for those who might not know what Chad Tuff is, maybe some of our out-of-state listeners, it's named for Chad Carr, who was the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr, who and this little boy passed away. What was it, last year?
I think it was a few
years ago now from a very rare type of brain cancer that was incurable. And they started the Chad Tough Foundation to fund this research.
And it's probably the number one charity that circles Michigan.
Oh, for sure.
It's the most popular, at least.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
And so Chase Winovich goes, if I can get $15,000 donated to Chad Tough, I'm going to take my long, flowing, Thor-like blonde locks.
Like Clay Matthews' hair.
And dye them orange, because orange was Chad's favorite color, so that's the color of the Chad Tough Foundation. And so $15,000 in a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah. He went to bed and
was
woke
donated.
up,
yeah.
and it was already over.
It was like $32,000. So Chase Winovich is going to be dyeing his hair orange for the bowl game. But not only that, his teammate, Mo Hurst, decided to up the ante on this. Did you hear this part?
No, I didn't.
So Mo Hurst,
big hungry,
who wears number 73,
$73,000,
and he will dye his hair orange.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Donated to Chad Tough.
And they just they just said Mo's going to play in the game. He was questionable to play in that game for a while.
Well, he shouldn't play in that game.
No, I don't think he should play either. But if he's going to do it for charity, go Mo.
Well, he can still dye his hair orange for the bowl game even if he doesn't play.
Yeah. But
they'll show him on the sideline, that's for sure.
Yep.
Out there, I don't know. I just checked it right before we started the show. I don't think they had reached it yet. They're going to get it.
Oh, they're going to get it.
He's going to get it.
Michigan fan base.
Whole team should do it.
Everybody,
wouldn't that be awesome? Like, wouldn't that be just a fun, heartwarming? If the entire team goes out with orange hair.
Yeah.
For $1 million donated to Chad Tough.
You could have everybody walk into the stadium at the big house and give $1 and get $100,000. So, they're going to get it.
And let's call it what it is.
Fan base is
Ann Arbor,
incredibly huge.
Ann Arbor area, not exactly a poor town.
No.
Do you have anything else?
No, I think it was a successful show.
I think we actually got through everything.
A lot of things.
Other than Mike's notes. Well, that's something we can save for any time.
Yeah, we need more notes really on there.
That's true. Mike, take more notes. There's some funny ones on there, though. We have to terminate this podcast, and we will be back following the Christmas holiday for a final Out of Bounds Detroit Sports for 2017. Dave will not be here, of course.
No, Dave can't make any holiday shows because he's got all the holidays off in his contract.
He's gonna. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's finding a new fluffer that's probably a fat lady. So he's got to take more interviews.
Son of a bitch.
He's got to take his time off to get his fat chicks in.
How do I get holidays off in my contract? Let's get this worked out. Roger?
I'll never get a day off.
Well, you can't.
You've been listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. For Jeff Mel and myself, Dan Griffin, happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you celebrate. And we'll see you on the other side of the holiday. And we are out of here.